So Danny and I were college students at the University of Memphis together in the early 2000s. Danny's pretty much his whole family went to the University of Memphis. In fact, his parents met as students at the University of Memphis. And so he had a long line of folks that came to school here. He grew up a Memphis fan. For me, came to know the University of Memphis kind of later in high school. And so we both came here as students and were very active on campus. And we can tell you more about that if you want. But we were both presidents of our respective fraternity and sorority. So I was Sigma Kappa president, Danny was Pike president. And back then, fraternity and sorority presidents took a leadership class together that also involved a retreat and some kind of team building activities. And so we were both in that class, which the retreat portion of which, interestingly enough, actually was in the building that my office is in now. Back when the building was the Fogelman Executive Center, that's where the retreat meetings were held. So our middle school music classroom that our son now takes music class in is actually the room that we met in. And we were put in a small group together in that class to work on a project, and Danny and I were placed in the same group, and that's how we met. And we quickly realized that we had a lot in common, and one of those things we had in common was our love for the city of New Orleans. And so our first official date was actually on a trip to New Orleans. And we often joke that like we should never tell our children that, because like you really shouldn't have your first date be like a 6-hour car ride away.
They don't really understand the gravity of something like that quite yet, but there will be a time in their life where they sort of realize like, oh, that was a big step to,
Right.
Start your relationship with a weekend in New Orleans.
Yeah, it was kind of, I feel like we both were kind of like waiting for the other one to call our bluff, and then nobody called the bluff, and then we just got in the car. And our daughter's named Nola now. And so we have 2 children. They're both students in university schools at the University of Memphis. And Danny coaches as a volunteer, coaches 2 of our basketball teams here at the middle school. So we're both very involved on campus still, even now as adults. So that is how we met.